Hey, what is up, my fellow golf ball addicts? Welcome back to the channel. This is one that you guys have been requesting like crazy. I thank you for your patience. We are finally here, as you saw from the title, Srixon Ultispeed. Let's see if it's worth the hype. Let's dive right in. Guys, the channel's been doing amazing the last month, and I couldn't have done it without you. The likes, the comments, the subscribing, the joining for $1, everything I've asked you guys to do, you've been doing incredibly. I ask that you continue to do it. It's allowing the channel to grow. And as you can see from the last month, we've been able to put out all kinds of great content. We've done a club experiment recently. I've done a couple, comment videos called The Addict, which is like the podcast. We've been able to kind of experiment and do more, and I promise you there's a lot of more cool stuff coming this year for sure. It's allowed me to venture out and do some more, and even the triple reviews, which you guys are really enjoying as well, and I am also. I think those are awesome, and I think it's a great way to kind of get more golf ball reviews in one video so I can provide more in a season. Normally we only get like 40 to 50 done in a season. Now that opens it up to maybe 75 to 100, which I'd really love, so we'll see. But thank you again, I appreciate you guys. But without further ado, let's dive into this bad boy. This is a 3-piece iometer golf ball from Srixon, 85 compression, and I can confidently tell you that because, as you can see from the screen right there, that's what Srixon tells me. This is on their website. And ladies and gentlemen, this is how you present a golf ball to the public. Easy to use charts, very transparent. This is what you're buying. This is what you're getting. The reason I have to bring this up is because there's some companies that we've recently done ball tests on. I won't mention their name, but they're not transparent. Everything is, just, oh, massive distance and great forgiveness and, oh my goodness, it's the best ball ever. And it's like, yeah, well, what's the cover made of? Well, massive distance, it's like they don't want to tell you. And so this is how it should be. Thank you, Srixon. I really appreciate that. It saves me so much legwork. But this golf ball is advertised as a distance golf ball. It's designed to basically allow you to hit it farther than you normally do, which I have mixed feelings about. One, yeah, everyone wants some more distance, but lately there's been a lot of golf balls we've tested, such as like the E12 straight, where yeah, you gain 4 or 5 yards of distance, but you lose so much spin that it ends up not being worth it because you can't hold a green anymore. I mean, you're not actually gaining anything, you're just trading spin for distance, and for me, that's not really a good trade-off. I still want it to be able to hold. I don't need rip back, but I can't just have it hit the front of the green and roll off the back. That's insane. So I am interested to see if this golf ball is one of those, or if it's a little bit different and it gives you a little bit of best of both worlds. All right, let's look at the design of this golf ball. Looking at the front there, I'm not a super big fan of this. It's just very basic. It's very plain. You've got Srixon, you've got Ultispeed. It's very basic font. I mean, this looks cheap to me, unfortunately. It really does. Now, I understand that's a preference, but still, there's a lot of creativity in the golf ball world right now, and this is probably one of the most bare bones basic I've seen. The actual cover of it does look kind of plasticky. It's not urethane, so it's not going to be super premium looking or feeling, but it's got a small level on there. Could be for like a mid or low ball flight to be penetrating, so we'll see. Coming around on the alignment tool here, Q Star, you know what, that gets the job done. It's bare bones, but I like that. Nice thick black line, easy to see. If I hold it up here to the camera, you can clearly see that line. So that gets the job done. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but I just at least want to be able to see it when I'm standing over it. I do wish there was some different colors or designs or something creative. It only comes in yellow and white right now, so very basic, but we'll see if they open that up. They might actually open up more designs later on, so we'll see. Let's get out to the chipping and putting green and let's see how it does around there. All right, so 3-piece iometer cover ball. I would hope, even though the price point is reasonable, I would hope that there would still be some checkup, but let's find out. Not bad, not bad. It acted like it wanted to. It had some rotation, but it just didn't check up the way I would hope. There we go. I got a little cleaner hit that time. Go in, go in, go in! Woo! Oh, that one was going in if it hadn't been for that other ball. That would have been 2. That would have been nice. All right, let's try a little left spin here. No, pretty straight, which is good. I would expect it to be straight. This golf ball is not intended to have the level of spin to be able to bend it left and right, so I didn't expect that. I'm gonna try a nasty cut just to see. Again, no, really straight, forgiving. I like that for this golf ball. Like I said, there are some tour level golf balls and X model golf balls where, yeah, you want that left and right. Not the case here. Very nice, good touch. Very soft off the wedge. There is a mild click. There's more click than I thought there would be, but it's not a bad thing. It's actually very mild. It's just a mild low click. It comes off the club very easy. It doesn't have an excess amount of bouncy ball or spring. It's actually just really Goldilocks. It's like really in the middle of everything, and I really like it. It's not too much of this. It's not too much of that. It's not too little. It's really easy to hit this golf ball. I got one in the cup immediately. There was a couple more that had a chance to go in or could have possibly went in. I had no learning curve. This was easy to put a ball down, hit it, oh, okay, that's what it's gonna do, and then just keep going. Spin-wise, I'd call it easily, you know, in like the 45% range. It's not quite 50, but it's still enough to have a little bit of checkup, which is nice. No left or right spin, very forgiving. Like I said, very easy to get going toward the hole, and you know what? You might even hole one yourself. I'm impressed. All right, so we got the mallet putter, very thick, very heavy. Let's see how the roll is with the Ultispeed. Okay, not bad, very nice. Okay. Doesn't have as much spring as I thought it would. I thought this golf ball would really shoot off, and it just didn't. It actually has a really nice, steady roll. It's definitely like a medium speed. That was a complete miss hit. That might be one of the worst putts in my life, so please excuse that. Excellent. So I will say this, there's not a lot of feel in the hands when it comes to the, you know, response I'm getting off this putter. There's a low amount of feedback, and there's a low amount of sound, and there's just, it has definitely got more of a dead feeling, which is strange to me because I don't think this golf ball has a dead feeling when it comes to anything else. So with that being said, it's interesting, it's okay. A true roll, 8 out of 10, somewhere in there, pretty good for the most part. Let's try the blade putter, let's see how that is. All right, so now we have an older blade style putter. Let's see how much that changes what we're working with here. Oh, I like that, nice little kiss. That was nice. True roll, maybe like a 8, 9 out of 10, somewhere in there. It wasn't perfect. We'll give it a 9. It was a little bit better than the mallet. But I love the sound, just that soft kiss. It really let me know some good feedback. Okay, a little chug there, but not bad. Yeah, that's a little bit better for sure. So when it comes to the putter, it's good, it passes. You know, it's not bad by any means. I really don't have anything negative to say. It's just, again, it kind of just checks all the boxes, which that's not a bad thing. Not every golf ball can be perfect everywhere, you know what I mean? So as long as something gets a passing grade from me, that's fine. When it comes to the green side, like I've said, you know, feel and sound and reaction is a little different here and there, but when you add it all together and you put it in the pot, it's not bad. It's kind of like a stew, you know what I mean? You got some ingredients that might be questionable, but you put them all in the pot, and when you look at it from a whole, you're like, you know what, that's kind of tasty. I like that. I could definitely eat that once or twice. All right, so when it comes to the Srixon Ultispeed, I gotta say I'm really impressed when it comes to the feel. First of all, it has a lot of rocket power. It has a lot of bouncy ball effect. I mean, it feels really solid when you hit it off that center of the face. I mean, it gives you an essence that you're really hitting the ball a long way, which it's a distance golf ball, so it's supposed to do that. It's a 5 out of 5 when it comes to the feeling, by far. One of the best I've tested. Miss hit feels, as you can see, is a 4 out of 5, and you know, it's an ample amount, right? It doesn't feel fantastic when you miss hit it, but it's enough to give you some feedback, let you know that, you know, it wasn't your best shot, without stinging the hands, without really punishing you. And you'll notice that forgiveness was really high too. One of the best forgiveness golf balls I've tested in a while. I mean, if 160 is a good shot with my 7-iron, 155, 154 on miss hits. There was a couple times with the driver even, I really miss-hit a shot. I mean, really off the toe, nasty, I could tell, I was disgusted. I looked back, I only lost like maybe 10, 11 yards, and with a driver, that is really phenomenal. Sometimes I'll lose 20 or 30 on those egregious miss hits. So just super fantastic. I cannot wait to see the results when it comes to the data, because I think this is gonna be awesome. And I do wanna add that the bouncy ball in this golf ball is very apparent, especially when I was testing the 50-yard pitch. The 50-yard pitch, it almost had no feedback in the hands whatsoever. It just legit felt like a bouncy ball, like one you would get from the store and you just bounce it and you hit it. I mean, almost feels nothing in the hands. And then as I went to the pitching wedge and the 7 and the driver, I started to feel it a little bit more. But it's just something I wanted to know because there is a drastic difference between how this golf ball feels with a wedge as opposed to what it feels like with an iron. All right, so let's talk some data here. Let's go ahead and start with the 50-yard pitch, backspin RPM. We're looking at 7,686, which is well below my average. So, you know, that's obviously not what I would want. I would want around the 8,000 mark. I'm using a 58 degree, and you know, I usually get 8,000 with almost anything, even two-piece golf balls I do. So I would have expected a little more, but it goes a little bit further than that. So when I was testing this golf ball, as you guys know, 15 shots, narrow it down to 10. The 5 shots I eliminated were all over the place. I mean, normally when I am pitching with a golf ball, you know, let's say I have a good quality golf ball that like I trust, right? I hit it well, 8,200. I hit it well, 8,100. I mishit it, 7,600. I mishit it, 7,500. This one was, I hit it well, 7,700. I hit it well, 7,600. I mishit it, 4,200. I mishit it 5,100. I mishit it 6,200. I mishit it. You know, it was all over the place. I had, you know, a couple in the 4,000s, a couple in the 5,000s, a couple in the 6,000s. I mean, it legit was all over, and I don't normally see that. And so I occasionally, a couple times a season, will see that. And really what it comes down to is it's just a lack of forgiveness off the wedge. It really is. So I was a little disappointed in that. The average wasn't great either. I think I only had one shot that went over 8,000, so it's just not much of a spinning golf ball. So like I was saying earlier, I'm fearful that the spin might not be up to par, but we'll go ahead and see. We got the pitching wedge next. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. 124.8, that's a gain of about 3 yards. I love it. 125.4, that's a gain of 3 yards. I love it. 78 on the swing speed, that's perfect. 97 on your ball speed, gained a mile an hour and a half. That's awesome. And then, hey, look at that, 6,958. That's just slightly below average, but that's plenty of spin to get some stopping power. So I love to see that. 124 on your smash, above average, and it launched low at 21.8. So like I said, it does have that low penetrating flight so far, like I thought it would, based on the outside cover. Yeah, those are actually really good. I love that. That's good to see because you have an increase in distance, an increase in ball speed, and smash rate. Everything's above average, and the spin is basically mid. We'll call it mid, and that's nice because that means you're going to be able to get the stopping power. It's going to be able to stop on the green and check up for you, but you also get that gain in distance. It's a little bit of the best of both worlds. I hope it continues that. Let's get into the 7-iron now. 164.7, that's about 2 yards gained. 166.2, that's 2 yards gained. 84.4, that's, again, great on the speed there. That's exactly what I'm trying to hit. 117, again, a mile and a half hour above my average. 56.22, above average spin. So I like to see that. Okay, so now 1.39, again, above on your smash factor, and it launched a little bit low at 17.4. So again, that's perfect. That's exactly perfect. So far, we are doing amazing when it comes to the testing results because I'm gaining distance, I'm gaining ball speed, the flight is nice and low and penetrating like it's supposed to be, but more importantly, I'm getting enough spin to where the ball is going to check up very well, and that's what I was fearful of because, you know, if the spin had been 5,000, it's like, okay, well, now the ball's not going to stick, and okay, yeah, I gained 2 or 3 yards, whoopee. Nope, I gained 2 or 3 yards, and I get the stopping power. It's like having my cake and eating it too. Let's get into the driver. Let's hope this continues. Driver, we are looking at 232.5, which is about 9 yards gained. That is an insane number. Only 2 golf balls so far this year have hit 230 or higher. So that's awesome. 241.1 on your rollout. And again, only 2 golf balls have hit that on total rollout. That's 9 yards above my average. 97.3 on the swing speed, which is right in line with what I've been getting with everything. Awesome. 142.5. I gained 4 mile an hour of ball speed. 2130 on your spin, which is below my average. I love that. 1.47, just incredible smash factor. And a 17 launch, which is exactly mid right now for me. So it's a mid to low launch. Those numbers across the board are as perfect as I could want them to be. I gained 9 yards of distance from my average. The spin is really low. There's a ton of forgiveness on side spin. The launch was not high. It wasn't low. It was nice and mid to get an optimal fly. That's why the distance was so great. I mean, My goodness, that's awesome. This is probably the best testing performance I've seen so far across all clubs in Season 5. Like, consistently gaining distance, consistently having a nice low penetrating ball flight or mid with the driver, consistently having better smash factor. I mean, all these numbers right now, I haven't seen anything that's a negative, except for the 50-yard pitch. Last but not least with the driver, you know, it's been a while since we've done this one, but every once in a while when I get a golf ball that I feel I can really put some power behind and see what it can do, we do a small segment that many of you, well, I won't say love, because frankly I've only done it once or twice, but I think you will love it very shortly. And that segment, of course, is called How Far Will It Go? And this segment is basically where I take a big daddy hack and try to hit a swamp donkey missile as far as I physically can, just to see what the golf ball is capable of. And this is what I came up with, as you can see right here. 252.9, 106 on your swing speed, which, by the way, that's a new record with a driver. I mean, I've really been increasing my swing speed lately. 152.8 ball speed, 17.2, 2451, a little high on the spin, but still, those numbers are absolutely incredible. And, you know, I think rollout, I didn't show rollout, unfortunately, but I think it was like 260 something, 265 maybe. Just incredible. There's a lot of potential. The reason I do this segment is because I do want to show you guys, like, if you have a faster swing speed, does the golf ball still react well? Does it start to overcompress? You know, what's the capabilities? What's the max? What's the ceiling? That's kind of why I do it, and as you can see why. Like, this is a golf ball. If I took this out to the course and I took that swing that you can see there and it went down the middle of the fairway at 260, I would be flabbergasted. Like, I wouldn't even know how to act. That would be insane for me. So just another way that this golf ball is really impressive. That's nice. Let's go ahead and look at some dispersion and accuracy. Let's see how good this golf ball is in that, because gaining distance is all great and all, but if it starts spraying all over the course, it's kind of useless. So let's dive into that. And if we look at this thing, you know, I might actually print this out and put it on my wall. Like, that's how good. Maybe my wife will put it on the refrigerator as a good job honey thing, because looking at, let's start with the 50-yard pitch down there. Now, distance is kind of all over the place because it does have a spring to it, but look at the accuracy. Everything's right down the line, really accurate. I would call 5 out of 5 accuracy just based on that alone. But also look at the pitching wedge, look at the 7-iron, look at the driver. Those are phenomenal. I mean, every shot I hit with the drivers in the fairway, every single one of them. Every shot I hit with the 7-iron is on the green. And look, if you look actually really close in that middle of that circle for the 7-iron, there's like 6 or 7 balls that are all right on top of each other. I mean, that's awesome. Pitching wedge, same thing. If you zoom in and you look a little closer, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all within like a 5-foot radius of each other. I mean, incredible. So, you know, looking at that, I have not seen a dispersion chart this year so far that looks as good as that. That's great. I mean, the driver, I mean, this is actually making me look like I'm a decent golfer. I love this. Like I said, I might put this on the wall just to, you know, I don't know, flex on people. All of it is just really, really good. I haven't seen that. So that's a 5 out of 5 on consistency. That's a 5 out of 5 on accuracy. I mean, we already have a 5 out of 5 on feel. We know we have a 5 out of 5 on forgiveness. That's impressive. That's impressive. That's all there is to it. All right, let's get into durability real quick. Looking at the durability of this golf ball, I can see a lot of scratches on the outside here. I can see some scrapes. It looks like some of the paint's coming off. I definitely would not trust this golf ball putting anymore. You know, after 70, 80 shots, unfortunately, I think this is toast. I don't think there can be consistency here anymore. So ultimately, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The reason I also give it a 7 out of 10 is because we did some on-course testing. I actually played with a good buddy of mine, Bruce, and he used it a few holes, and as far as we know, didn't hit anything major, and there was some pretty big scratches and stuff, and so it's good. I tested it pretty extensively to make sure here, and I would say it's good. It's not great. There's room for improvement, but 7 out of 10 considering the price point and the numbers, it's not bad. Again, it checks the box, but it just isn't eye-popping, but it gets by. Okay, so final thoughts, full transparency. I had originally intended this review to be in a triple review with the Q Star Tour and the Srixon Soft Feel, because I hadn't done reviews on those in a while. Once I tested this golf ball first and I saw the numbers, I had a feeling it was going to be pretty good, and I thought, you know, as many requests as I've had, the numbers seem great, let's just give it its own review, because I wanted to make sure I spent enough time fully talking about how great it is And, you know, all that ends up being true. This golf ball is by far one of the best I've tested from season 5 so far. You know, a lot of golf balls have just not been that eye-popping this year. They haven't been that impressive. You know, you have a golf ball that might have a really great driver performance, but then everything else is eh. Or it might be great around the green, but then performance, you lose yards. This thing, you know, there's a couple categories where it just checks the boxes, but then when it comes to performance, it really kicks it up another gear and you get the best of both worlds. You get an increased distance, you get an outstanding feel, you get insane accuracy, you get insane consistency, and you get the spin to actually keep checkups on the green. You're gonna see that golf ball bounce a little bit. You might see it roll back a little bit to you on full pitching wedge shots. I don't know what else you could ask for. You know what I mean? This is coming from a golf company, Srixon, that I've lost a lot of faith in. I have. I used to be a big Srixon fan. And then all of a sudden, you know, they firmed up the Q Star Tour and the Divide. And then all of a sudden, you know, the Z Star XV and the Z Star regular got firmed up. And I didn't like them anymore. And so this is a company that has just been sinking for me over the last few years. They come out with this golf ball. They replace a golf ball that, honestly, I could have took it or leave it. I didn't care anything about it. It ended up in the 70s every year on our top 100 list. Now all of a sudden you have a golf ball that has some serious potential. Potential to help you, potential to help, you know, your golfing buddies, your scramble teams, lower your scores, but also helps Srixon's reputation. This is a big deal for them. I could see this golf ball getting in the top 20, top 15, top 30 this year, maybe even higher. Who knows? It depends on how the testing goes. So fantastic job, Srixon. Seriously, I love that. This golf ball is fantastic. Would I use it? Absolutely. Who's it for? I would say anyone who swings between 80 and 105 and wants a darn good golf ball. I mean, seriously, if you want a darn good golf ball that, you know, has a potential to be a gamer in your bag, it's worth a shot. You know, there are certain golf balls that I just say, you know what, it's just worth a shot. And this is one of them. For sure. I think a lot of you could play this and be like, wow, it feels like it has some rocket off the club. I feel confident. It's such an easy golf ball to hit. It really is. When I did the testing the whole time, it was easy. When I did the green test, it was easy. I mean, everything was just easy. The worst part about this golf ball is probably its putting, and that's just average. You know what I mean? When the worst part of a golf ball is its average, you know, I'm impressed. I really am. So guys, would love to know your feedback. I know many of you have sent me feedback already and I haven't seen anything negative about this ball, but if you decide to give it a try, I would love to know your feedback. As always, keep watching, keep saving, keep learning. Until next time, thank you so much.